the most beautiful one and done green eyeshadow I think I've ever tried. I love this. I absolutely love it. Look at it. Hi everybody, so today I've got my favourite eyeshadow colour. This is green eyeshadow. If you know me, I am obsessed. So this one is Emerald and this is from Victoria Beckham, the lid lustre. So I'm going to try this on today and show you the way I like to wear this. I've also got all three of the new Ole Henriksen peptide lip treatment in the glimmer option. So I am obsessed with these, so I cannot wait to try them with a glimmer finish. I'll try all three of those on for you today. And I also want to show you a perfume I've been loving and tell you why I love it so much, and that is this new one here from Kayali. So I can't wait to get stuck in and show you these. I'm really excited about all the things I'm about to show you. They really are fabulous. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Hannah. I'm 47, not a professional, just somebody who really loves makeup and beauty. And here on my channel, I like to review the latest products, show you some of my favourites and show you my favourites looks, give you any beauty news you might be interested in. If you think you'd enjoy this and you're not subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. If you're already subscribed, welcome back. I really appreciate you all. And my skin tone, if that's helpful at all, I've got fair to light skin with neutral / cool undertones, and I've got blue eyes. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's get straight on to this video. So you might notice my voice is a little bit strange. I don't know how I'll get on with this video in all honesty, because I've been really poorly. I've just come back from Germany and I think travelling on 4 different planes, going through so many different airports. If you saw my recent video vlog, I had to go through so many different places to get there. We had lots of stopovers, connection flights. So I was basically mixing with lots of different bugs at this time of year. So this has happened 3 years running now actually. Last year I went to Germany and came back with COVID, and the year before I went on a cruise where I went to different parts like Belgium and Germany, and where else did we go? I can't even remember now. Amsterdam. And I came back with a really bad cold then. And apart from those 3 times, I haven't got ill. So it seems travelling seems to bring these bugs to me. So the last few days I've been completely floored. I haven't been able to put on makeup, film, anything. So I'm not sure how my voice is going to get on. I'm not sure how I will get on. But my eyes have stopped stinging me today. They still look a bit red. So I'll do my best. But I really wanted to show you this because I've got so many videos that I wanted to get out before Christmas and it's getting a bit tight now. So anyway, what I'm going to do is show you the way I like to wear the Victoria Beckham lid lustre. So just quickly, I won't go into much detail here, but I like to start with a neutral base. And one of my favourite eyeshadow palettes for doing that is this Makeup by Mario one. This is the Neutrals, the one that launched this year. I use this palette all the time. So I'm just going to start quickly now with a very neutral base. Using the Rapha one, I'm going into this one here. And I'm going to put some of this into the crease and above as a sort of background base transition-y shade. I say transition-y because I'll probably be going over it with another cooler brown. Now obviously the lid lustre can be a shade on its own. You don't have to do this sort of base. It does work like that, but I do like to have some sort of base. But I don't want to take away too much from the lid lustre, so I'm not going to put an awful lot on, just a little bit really. So just putting a bit of this powder down in the transition area here, taking it to the outer V. And I'm going to go in with the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal liner. This one's Cocoa. This is my most used shade because it's the shortest pencil in my collection at the moment. And I want this to go on now because I want it to be a fairly softened line. I don't want it to be too deep, so I'm going to, without too much care, just start taking a little bit here across the top. I say without too much care because I'm going to really blend this out and soften it. And I don't want this to go underneath too much, so I'm just going to take it a tiny bit underneath, just as far as I think there. Just so I've got a bit of depth there, but not all the way across. That's enough. And now I'm going to go in with the brush and soften that up. So I'm using the Rapha number 3, so this isn't a liner brush, this is the pencil brush, so this will spread it out a bit more than the liner brush 23, which I often use. You see just how well these blend out. These are such good formulas. They're my favourite eyeliner formula. And I'm going to take a little bit underneath here in the waterline running under the lashes so I can tight line. And I was looking at some of the Kajal liners that might work in the waterline for this. So there's two options I've picked out, both Victoria Beckham. So we've got this green apple, sorry, sour apple, and then seafoam. Seafoam's actually one of my all-time favourites. Now this obviously doesn't match emerald, but it could complement it in the waterline. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I'm just playing around with this. This is not something I've tested. So I'll just show you how the two of these look. So this one is sour apple and this one is seafoam. I think I'm going to go with seafoam. I think sour apple is more of a shade I would use outside the waterline. Plus I don't think it goes with the emerald. So I'm just going to take this. I usually use a white or a cream to brighten this area here. But I thought maybe today seafoam could be a nice option for the waterline. Just to give me that pop of brightness and a slightly, it's a bluey green really, the seafoam, isn't it? Let's see how it's going to look anyway. This is an experiment, like I said. And using my Eyeshadow 3, I'm going to go into this one, which is probably for me the sort of coolest, not too dark shade, if you know what I mean. I want this to be quite a cool shade. I don't think I want a warm shade for this look. And I don't want a lot of depth because the liner has given me that depth. And I don't want this to be a particularly dark look. I want the standout to be the green. So just a little bit there, which I think this is giving me. I'm also running this over the liner to smooth it out even further. Just by there, into the outer V area. And taking this on the Eyeshadow 3, I'm also going to run this same shade underneath the whole of the eye. Just to give a little bit of a shadow, I suppose, to bring it together from above and below. So I'm happy with that. That is my base, and now I can go straight in with this stunning lid lustre. But before I go in with it, let's look at some of the greens in my collection so we can compare them. I need to try and get these off the back of my hand now because these liners last forever. They're not going to come off very easily. I might need to use a makeup remover, which I've got here on my desk. So here is the lid lustre in Emerald. Lid lustre is probably my favourite formula for one and done. I love it. So this is £33, and let me show you how utterly stunning this is. Look at that, isn't it gorgeous? So Charlotte Tilbury already has emerald eyes in her pop shots. If I show you the two side by side, it's definitely lighter, isn't it? But let's see them swatched next to each other. And it doesn't feel quite as smooth, the Charlotte Tilbury. It's a bit more grainy. It's also more shifty. So that's Charlotte Tilbury and this is Victoria Beckham. The Victoria Beckham formula, I do prefer it. I love pop shots, but I still prefer this, and I prefer this shade a little bit as well. They're not a million miles away from each other. And to give you an idea of the quality, I've got one of the Pat McGrath the Astral shades palette here. So these are all Astral shades, Pat's top baked formula. And this one is called VR Emerald, so I thought it would be a good one to compare here. So here is Pat McGrath VR Emerald, and I hope you can see just how the Victoria Beckham is as smooth as the Blitz Astral. Maybe not quite as shiny, but it has that sort of sleek smoothness, whereas the Charlotte Tilbury has a tiny bit of graininess to it. I really do think the Victoria Beckham matches the quality of the Blitz Astrals. And obviously the one I've shown you from Pat McGrath might have the Emerald name, but it's a lot lighter and it's a bit more shifty. I was also asked by somebody to compare it to the new Pat McGrath duo that came out for Christmas. So this one is actually the Celestial Jade. So I can see straight away it's not a match colour wise, and it's definitely not the Blitz Astral shade, but it is the Italian formula. And it's not as smooth, again, I can feel that straight away, but I'll show you how this looks in comparison. It does look very nice actually, swatched. So here is the Pat McGrath from the Christmas duo, and here is the Victoria Beckham Emerald. For me, the only one that's reading a really true emerald is this Victoria Beckham. I really think it is. And some of you might have seen me looking at this Made by Mitchell palette from the New York collection, the Fairy Tale in New York. And because I was so impressed with the green in this, I thought I'd just show you that if you were curious. Again, this is a very smooth one, but it's definitely not as impressive in formula. So this is the one from that palette. Not a match by any means for this emerald shade, but it is lovely. It does show you up against these high quality ones that Made by Mitchell shade does almost match up to this quality. And I wanted to look at the green in the Lisa Eldridge palette. This is one of my favorites from Lisa. This is Sorcery, and in this one there is this lovely shade of green here. This is a metallic, so it's a different formula, and this one's called Grotto, but I was curious to see how close it might be in colour. I'm starting to run out of room here. It might be one of the closest actually. So this one, oh no, it's not, it's darker, isn't it? This is this is Lisa Eldridge, and here again, this is the Victoria Beckham Emerald. So the Lisa Eldridge is definitely a darker, more sort of grungy. This is still the winner for me, this new Victoria Beckham, out of all of these greens, it really is. And the new Danessa Myricks Lightworks 6 palette. I don't think the greens in this one are going to match up. They're incredibly shifty. So we've got these two here, but I just want to compare more the formula, I think. So I will swatch it, but I don't think either of these two are going to be remotely similar. In fact, the bottom one has got so much blue in it. I'll show you on my fingers. There's no point me showing you the blue one, but I will swatch this green one if I can squeeze it in on my hand here. But it is so shifty. Oh, it is so glorious though. It's completely different, but it's, I would say, from a smooth point of view and from the way it looks and the way it lasts and the way it sits, it's the best formula here on my entire hand, the Danessa Myricks, and I think Victoria Beckham is the closest match in that sort of smooth finish, a bit like the Chantecaille singles, which have that same effect. I love them, but anyway, completely different shade, but I do think the quality of Danessa Myricks cannot be beaten. And I'm going to squeeze one more in on my hand, and this is from Nabla. Now this is something I haven't reviewed here on my channel, but I am planning on doing a review of these. I picked these ones up fairly recently, so they have released more shades. So there's a green in this and there's a green in this, so I don't know if I can maybe look at both of them, but I wanted to show you these. This is the Liberty, I think it's Liberty X. Now this feels as smooth, but this one does have a shift of a sort of purpley in it, but this formula is exceptional, it really is. That's why I want to show it to you soon on this channel. But here it is here, so you can see that green, but it does, oh, you can't see the shift actually. It's definitely got a shift. See if you can see it. Sorry, my fingers are covered in all these different things now. Can you see the sort of bluey shift in that? It's really hard to show on camera. Yeah, it's just not coming up. It's got a purpley shift in it, but you can't see it. But it does have that fabulous formula. So I can't wait to show you these when I review them properly. Again, it's not matching the emerald shade of Victoria Beckham, but it's definitely matching the formula like the Danessa Myricks did. And I won't show you this one because it is just too blue. It's not going to really show up in terms of, it's not going to match up in terms of colour, but it would match up in terms of quality, which is why I can't wait to show you those. So look out for that video coming soon, because I haven't seen hardly anyone talking about these Nabla Liberty single shadows, and they are absolutely stunning one and done. So I can't wait to get that. It's in my long list of videos to do. Anyway, now we've done the comparisons, let's get straight in with the Victoria Beckham lid lustre. So I'm going to use my Eyeshadow 00, which is the flatter brush. I'm going to do it with this on one side and with my finger on the other, so you can see the difference. And I'm going to take it all over. So starting with the brush, you can have a slightly lighter application. I mean, look at this, look at it. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? I can use the edge of this brush, the fine tips, to take this into the crease. I might take it a bit higher, I'll see how I feel at the end, because it's very shimmery. Look at it, isn't it beautiful? I'm going by the way it's applying with this brush. It definitely doesn't need a finger, I don't think, but I will show you the difference. But this brush is the best brush I've got in my whole collection for applying shimmers. It's my #1. I absolutely love it since it launched, the Eyeshadow 00 from Rapha, which is still available, I think, at the reduced prices, I believe, anyway, as this is going out to you, because I placed an order with Rapha just yesterday for their new cream brushes, But anyway, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It is just gorgeous, it really is. I mean, this has got to be my one and done of the year, quite easily. I mean, if you know me, you know I love greens, but this is just stunning. So I'm going to take some on my little finger and show you how it looks applied with my finger. And you can see that the brush has done pretty much exactly the same job. Maybe a tiny bit more shiny with the finger, but minimal. And if you wanted to get slightly more of a wow finish, you could put a glitter glue down. I don't feel that these need it. I don't think they need that to grip on. I feel that these last very, very well on me. They don't move throughout the day. But if you find they do, and some people do, I think we're all different in the way we have oils and things, so you might find a glitter glue helps to make this last if you do have issues. But I don't. I love this formula. Zero fallout, you'll notice applying it with fingers or brush, because this is such a smooth and beautiful formula. My favourite one and done formula, and I've got some really lovely ones in my collection. I love the one that launched from Pat McGrath last year, and or was it the start of this year now? But nearly a year ago. I love the Chanel and Dior one and dones. But this one, and I obviously love the Charlotte Tilbury Pop Shots, but this formula is my favourite. And just look at it, isn't it absolutely gorgeous? Oh, wow. I'll take a little bit now on the shadow, just on the tips, so I can just go in here. But you can see from the base I've laid down, it just blends in really nicely. And now you can just sort of see that liner coming through softly, which is what I wanted. And I also think that the seafoam in the waterline does work, so I'm pleased with that. So if I want to see the green above the lid, because I do have quite hooded eyes, so when I look straight at the mirror, if I want to see it above, I can take some on the tip of this shadow, the same brush, and just take a little bit going above here to make sure a little bit of the green is visible. I wouldn't want too much because it's very shimmery and it's going to emphasize lines a bit. Not too much though. It is a fairly smooth formula. It's pretty forgiving on mature lids, to be fair, compared with many of these types of formulas. But if you want to just see a little hint of that green when you're looking straight at somebody or straight in the mirror, this is how I would do it with this brush. Just take a little tiny bit, and this brush just picks up a little bit in these fine tips. You pick up a lot more on the side when you do this, but when you put the tips of this brush, it just picks up a little bit, so you don't end up with too much. And it's perfect for that. I love this. I love these shadow brushes, I really do. I'm also going to use the same brush to go underneath here and just put a little bit underneath. Just go slightly over that brown with this green. And I'll go back into my Mario Neutrals palette and take this very lightest shade. If you've seen me using the Tom Ford Black Diamond, I use the lightest shade in that for exactly this purpose. Perfect shade. That one in the Black Diamond and this, I think they are both perfect for this sort of inner corner pop of light. And I don't want a shimmer here, I want it to just be white. I want all the shimmer to be on the lid, and I want it to all be coming from this green or this emerald. And I'm going to do the same here above, under the brow, and sort of smooth the edge with this shade as well of the green and brown I've got sitting above here. And just bring in this white ever so slightly here, so it mixes with the green and sort of softens the finish there, so you don't have that sort of harsh line between the two. And there we have it, the most beautiful one and done green eyeshadow I think I've ever tried. I love this, I absolutely love it, look at it. Anyway, I'll go off and do my mascara and show you the final look. So I've gone in with mascara. I went with a dark brown mascara in keeping with more sort of softened browns that I've used with the green, and I really like using brown mascara these days, and I love this one from Swede, the Swede Cloud. So here is the final look with this absolutely sensational eyeshadow. I love this one. So if you're a fan of green eyeshadows, honestly, highly recommend getting this lovely emerald one from Victoria Beckham, because it is a million out of 10. Love it. So now on to these from Ole Henriksen. Now when it comes to lip balms, I use a lip balm throughout the day, every day of the year. I really, really, really need them, always have all my life. This is my #1 formula for daytime use. I absolutely love them. They're probably perfect for overnight use as well, but I go for the lip masks from Fenty and Laneige overnight. But by day, I've tried the Summer Fridays, I've tried the Road, I've tried everything you can think of that's got the top reviews. These are my absolute favourites. These give me the most moisturisation throughout the day, the most hydration. These are more grippy, more thick. They are beautiful. So these are my absolute favourites, and I love shimmer and I love glitter. So when they added glimmer to these, of course I had to pick all 3 of them up straight away. So here is the set of Party of 3 Glimmers edition. So for this set it was £46. It's cost £51 if you buy all 3 individually, so a bit of a saving there. And let's try each one of them on individually, but a little bit of information about the formula. So these are described as highly targeted lip-specific peptides which support the lip's natural shape and encourage a fuller appearance. And it has cocoa butter, mango seed butter and cloudberry oil, which helps to plump the lips and give you long-lasting hydration. So I'm starting here with the Citrus Sunshine Glimmer, which is a sheer tint with a gold glimmer and a fresh citrus scent. So I haven't even opened this, so let's see what the smell is like. I'm trying to smell it with my cold and I can smell citrus, so that's a good start. I'll put some on the back of my hand. That's how it looks, and if I spread this out, so the shimmer is minimal. It's not a very impressive shimmer, and there's no bits in it whatsoever. There's no sort of sensation of bits of glitter in it. So let's try this one on. So this one did say it's sheer, just with a bit of gold shimmer. Oh, you can see the gold straight away actually on my lips there. So this is giving me what all of my lip balms give me during the day, a clear finish, but this is giving me that exceptional thick grippy topper which will keep my lips hydrated for hours. This is so good, especially if you're going out in the cold weather. Can you see a bit of shimmer? A little bit, not massively noticeable if I'm going to be really honest. I do feel like I've just used a fairly standard lip treatment. Well, it's not standard, the best lip treatment there is out there, but I'm not seeing an awful lot of shimmer. There's a little bit. It will work as a nice topper to give you a little bit of a glow, I suppose, but that's about it. But that is the one without any colour. So if I look at the next one, you can definitely smell that citrus. Anyway, I'll just take it off a minute. So this one is the Crème Brûlèe Glimmer. Now this one has a beige tint with a rose gold glimmer and a vanilla brown sugar scent. So I've already got the creme brulee actually in the non-glimmer. Maybe, I don't know where it is off the top of my head, sorry, otherwise I could do a comparison, couldn't I? But, oh wow. Oh, that is a strong smell of vanilla. Oh, that is lovely. That smells gorgeous actually. I'm sure that's stronger than the one they released before. So I'll show you how this one looks on the back of my hand. Again, not really showing anything in the way of pigment, is it? Looks exactly the same to me. I am seeing a bit more pigment on the lips actually. I am seeing a little bit of that beige coming through and a bit more of that rose gold actually. I am seeing the shimmer more with this one. Oh, I definitely see that. Do you see it? I'll come up a bit closer. That is really pretty actually. I really like that. Lovely for a no makeup day on its own, giving you that little tiny bit of pigment and a little bit of shimmer, which really catches in the light. That one's so much better. I really like this one, and this would be a great topper as well. Now for the last one, the one I was most excited about, and I have to tell you I have tried this one, so there's a reason why I saved this one till last. So this one is called the Lingonberry Jam Glimmer. Sorry, Lingonberry, not Loganberry. This is a magenta tint with a silver shimmer and a sweet berry scent. Definitely can smell this. Honestly, I've got a cold and I'm smelling them. They are beautiful actually. So I'll show you how that looks before it goes on. You can see this is the one that's got the pigment. This one is gorgeous. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? I love it. So let's put this one on. Can smell that berry straight away, and it's given me a lovely pop of berry shade on the lips there. Do you know what I should have done is put some sort of liner on so that it's emphasising it more. I could try to do that. Let me get the Charlotte Tilbury Fair maybe, because that one won't show up too much. So this is the Lip Cheat in Fair. I would never advise doing this after you've put on the lip balm, because it's really just picking that up and becoming too wet, so it doesn't really work. But I can see it a little bit more. I think it looks better with a little bit of a liner if you want to use it as a makeup finish, but you can really see that berry shade and a little bit of glimmer. It's a subtle glimmer, a soft, subtle glimmer, but which I think is very pretty. So definitely no real evidence of glitter in the way it looks. It just gives a shimmer rather than a, which is what it says, isn't it? It's not glitter, so there's no, you don't feel any glitter and you don't see any glitter particles. You just see a pretty shimmer, which I think is really elegant and beautiful, plus giving me that perfect hydration. So I really like this one. What do you think? So for me, pigment wise, the citrus one, yeah, Citrus Sunshine Glimmer. Love the fragrance of all three actually, but this is the one I would probably keep in my everyday drawer just to keep topping up, because it's not going to give me any sort of finish. Whereas this one I've just tried on now, the Lingonberry Jam. This one can be worn on its own if you just don't want too much of a bold lip with a liner. You could go for a stronger liner though, and then just have this in the middle. That would be another thing that would work quite nicely. If you went for a deep liner, maybe smudged it out and then pop this in the middle, so you've got that sort of slightly berry shimmer in the middle. And maybe wouldn't use this as a topper, but you could maybe over a lighter lipstick depending on your tastes. And then this one, I definitely saw the most shimmer from this one. So this one's probably got the nicest smell as well. This one's the Crème Brûlèe Glimmer. So this one had a really nice shine and could go over any lipstick, I think. But you definitely saw a little bit of pigment, a tiny bit of that beige. So three different options really. The pigment goes up with each one. The finish is exceptional with all three. The hydration will keep me going for hours more than anything else. So do I recommend them? All day long. I always buy their new releases regardless, because I collect them because I get through them and I use them most days. I do have other ones in my collection I rotate through, but this is one I reach for the most and the one that I want to take with me the most. When I go on holiday, for instance, and I know I'm going to be in and out of different weather conditions, this is my trusted brand. I love this, so highly recommend. And now they've even got a bit of shimmer, so love them. So before I move on to show you the Kayali perfume, I just wanted to go back to discuss something I've shown you a few times on my channel now, because I really noticed not having it when I was on holiday, and my discount code has been increased and it runs out in a few days. So I just wanted to quickly mention the Sleep and Glow Omnia Pillow. You've probably seen me discuss this before on my channel. I love this pillow. I'll pop a picture up on the screen of it now. This pillow, if you look at the difference between a normal pillow, if I put that here, and then the Omnia Pillow here, I'm hoping that I can squeeze this here on my screen for you. You can see that when you're sleeping with a normal pillow, your face is so squished because it's just that standard shape. But the Omnia Pillow by Sleep and Glow is completely unique. It's shaped in that really perfect way, so that when you've got the side of your head down, all of this here, there's no pressure, there's no compression, and all these areas where we get the wrinkles and lines, they're just not being squished together like this. I mean, look how wrinkly my skin is if you imagine me lying flat like that, which is what I've just done in Germany essentially, because I couldn't take my pillow. I had to take a small carry-on case. But when I've got my Omnia Pillow by Sleep and Glow, I don't have that. I'm literally like this, and my face looks like this at night, so it's not being squashed up, and then you wake up to feel that your skin is better. And I can honestly tell you, the few days I've been home, even with my cold, which has made things so much worse, I'm seeing that difference in the lines around my eyes. I love this pillow so much. They've increased my discount to 15% off site-wide off everything, but that discount actually runs out on the 20th of December. So I'm going to get this video out to you today, so there's only a few days left. If you want to use my code and you're watching this after the 20th of December, you get £15 off this pillow, but not 15% off the entire website. And one other thing they sent me, which I actually received whilst I was away, was their weighted blanket. So I'll just show you a little clip here of me opening it. And you can see here that this is a very big weighted blanket. My bed is actually a Super King bed, so I'm just showing you in this clip how it nearly covers the bed. So it's a very generous size, this blanket, but unlike other weighted blankets that I've tried in the past, this one is 100% glass, tiny glass beads, and it's not actually, it doesn't feel that heavy. For me, it's exactly the right sort of weight. In the past, I've had problems with them. I have tried them on and off over the years, and the way I've had problems is as I get older, I'm starting to get a bit of arthritis in my shoulders, and if I pull the blanket up over the night and then during the night and turn, it can almost pull my shoulder because of the weight. I know you shouldn't really be doing that with a weighted blanket, but you can't control what you do in your sleep. But this blanket is just right. It's not causing me any issues like that. I've fully tested it since the day I got back from Germany. So I got back, 5 days. So I've tried it 5 full days now, and I have had 0 problems. And it's really helped me, especially with being poorly. If you haven't tried a weighted blanket, they are so good at making you sleep better. It gives you that, like, you know, when a baby is swaddled by a blanket, and that helps them to sleep because they've got that cushioning around them and they're all smooshed up. The wrong word probably, but that is what a weighted blanket does for me and what it'll do for you, because it has that effect of just making you feel really cozy. There is science behind this. I'm giving you my very inaccurate science speak here, but there is science behind it which you can look up. But also, if you're going through perimenopause, menopause, arthritis issues, as I am, you also find this helps a lot with aches and pains. I get a lot of problems with my hips and my knees, and when you sleep with a blanket like this, you will notice quite a significant difference in the aches you wake up with. I wake up with a lot less when I use a weighted blanket. So I came back from Germany having walked all over the place. I've used this for 5 days. I left with a knee and hip problem. Now I'm not going to say it's gone because it hasn't. I think it's a permanent problem, but it was hurting me quite a lot before I left. I did so much walking, I was dreading coming back, and I've used this weighted blanket and noticed that my aches and pains, even with flu and high temperatures, have not been as bad as I thought. So I'm so far really encouraged to start getting back into using my weighted blankets, and I will certainly be using this one because it is exactly the right sort of weight, and it's soft as well, it's comfortable, it's lovely, and you'll see in the video footage that it just goes around me and just snuggles into me. It's beautiful. So highly recommend that as well, and obviously you can get that for 15% off until the 20th. So my discount code, I think, I can't remember all of my codes now off by heart, but I think after the 20th I have a 10% off site-wide. I could be wrong about that one. I need to look that up for you. I'll let you know. Please, if you're interested in my code after the 20th, please ask me and I will let you know. But certainly for now, I've got the one code which will give you 15% off site-wide. Anyway, let's get back to the very last thing I wanted to review here, and that is this absolutely gorgeous perfume from Kayali, from the Huda websites and the Kayali brand on Huda. So I am a massive fan of Kayali. I don't buy every single thing because I don't buy the oud. They recently came out with Oud Gatum, I think it was called. I'm not a fan of oud, but most of the Kayali perfumes I get, because they tend to be sweet, and I do love gourmand fragrance and I do love sweet fragrance. This one did sound exceptionally sweet. I wondered if it would be too sweet, but I can tell you this is beautiful. So very much in the spirit of the Yum collection by Kayali. This one is the Yum Boujee Marshmallow number 81. Described as a delightful menu of mouth-watering notes including fluffy pink marshmallow, succulent strawberry, flaky coconut, delicate freesia, whipped vanilla, I mean that gets me straight away, and pink musk. Bougie, fluffy and delicious, a luxurious scent which will linger with sweet temptations with every spritz. And the full details on the notes. The top notes of this are pink lady apple, Italian lemon, freesia and nectarine blossom. And the middle notes are orange blossom water, pink marshmallow, strawberry, coconut flakes. And the dry notes are whipped vanilla, raspberry sugar, pink musk, ambrox and the Kayali signature accord. This is so good, and I think it is something I've struggled with Kayali is longevity. This one goes on for days, honestly. And I have tested that because I put it on when I was wearing my dressing gown the first day I got this. I put a few squirts around the sort of lining around the neck of my dressing gown, and I wore that dressing gown. About 4 days later, my husband gave me a hug and said, "Wow, you smell amazing." I was like, "I know, but I put it on 4 days ago." That is how well this lasts. It is so good. Now, when you first put it on, first impressions, this will give you another idea. I remember trying it on and my husband smelt it and said, "Oh, I'm not sure about that one." My first impression, love it, but not, oh, okay, that's quite a nice one. I'll add that to my collection, I like it. But as it settles, it's a little bit maybe sharp and a bit too much on the nose when you first smell it. Maybe it is a bit too sweet. So I think if you tried this in the shop, your initial reaction would be, "Oh, I'm not sure." Let this one settle down. Give it a few squirts around the neck and put some on your, I like to put on my clothes. I know maybe that's not the best thing to do. Maybe get a bit in your hair as well. So really let it sit and then give it a few hours, and then you'll notice it just warms up with the body and it becomes this gorgeous sweet fragrance. You pick up on all those different notes, the vanilla, but also the strawberry. It is a beautiful fragrance. I might even say it's gone to my #1. I love the Light Cheat by Kayali. I love the banana one and all the small ones they came out with for the summer. I mean, I love Kayali. I don't know if I'd even want to layer this. I love layering Kayali perfumes, but this is so perfect on its own. But I could layer it with the pistachio if I really wanted to go for it in sweet terms. I love the pistachio gelato. So if I really wanted to go for it, that could be strawberry and pistachio. Why not, eh? Maybe in the summer I'll do that and really double up on the sugar. But for now, I mean, I wouldn't describe this as a wintry, Christmassy fragrance. I think it's an all year round fragrance, in all honesty. I don't think this has to be summery in particular. It could be. It just depends on your taste. But for me, I would happily wear this all year. I mean, you can see, well, hopefully you can see. Can you see the line? How much I've already used this? I've only had it for a short time. I can't stop using it. I love it. It is beautiful. So yeah, if you're a fan of sweet fragrances and you're a fan of Kayali, absolutely recommend this one. It is gorgeous. So anyway, that is the end of my video. Quite a simple one today, not really trying on an awful lot of makeup, trying to keep it simple while I'm feeling a bit poorly. But I have shown you, I think, the best eyeshadow on the planet. Look at this, just look at it. It is absolute perfection. Oh, I will absolutely love it. Can't stop looking at it and I want to wear it every day forever. I love, love, love it. And the Ole Henriksen lip peptide treatments, is it? I can't remember the full title of these things. I'm always getting it wrong. Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatment. Anyway, it's a nice lip balm. I love them, absolutely love them. And if you're worried about the glitter being gritty or uncomfortable, absolutely not. It's completely undetectable. They are really lovely. And my lips will be hydrated for hours, even after drinking. It stays and it grips. And the perfume, as you've just seen, absolute 10 out of 10. One of the best Kayali ones I've tried. So love, love, love if you like sweet and gourmand fragrances. So everything I've shown you today has been a massive hit. And don't forget that discount code that I showed you from Sleep and Glow, because all of these codes of mine have been increased during sort of Black Friday, build up to Christmas, and that hasn't happened all year. I'm not just saying that, they haven't done that for me all year, so I don't know if they'll do it again for me during the year next year. If they do, I will certainly let you know, but this is the first time that they've increased it and it's running out on the 20th. So if you are interested in that pillow or the blanket or anything else from their site, definitely use my code and you will get that discount until the 20th. Anyway, I hope you found this helpful and I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have and you're not subscribed, please do subscribe, and if you've just enjoyed it, please hit the like button, and if you're already subscribed, you're at the end of another one of my videos, and I'm so grateful to you all, and I hope to see you again for my next video. Take care everybody, bye!